Hello, friends, welcome back to my channel. Now, I know many of you have this question on your mind. Is it really possible to clear JRF in the first attempt? Honestly, I get it. It feels like a big mountain to climb, right? But let me tell you, the first and second attempts are often the best ones. After that, the motivation tends to dip and things get harder. So, don't make the mistake of planning for the next 5 years thinking it will happen later. Don't make it the usual government 5 year initiative that never gets completed. Focus on what's in front of you, cracking JRF on your first attempt. And here's the thing, this strategy works for everyone, whether you're preparing for paper 1 or any subject in paper 2. It's all about having the right approach. Treat this like a mission, that is something that you're fully dedicated to. Trust me, cracking JRF in your first try is not only possible but totally within your reach if you follow the right steps. In this video, I'm going to share 5 tips that will help you crack JRF in the first attempt. We'll cover strategies for both paper 1 and paper 2. So stick around till the end and let's dive right in. Friends, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more valuable content. Friends, the first tip is focus on paper 1 and 2 from the beginning. One of the biggest mistakes students make is thinking, I can finish paper 1 syllabus in the last 1 month of the exam. No, it won't. Let me tell you why. Paper 1 used to be straightforward, but in recent years, its pattern has completely changed. Now, there are 35 shifts in which paper 1 is conducted. Hence, the questions are more in-depth and conceptual. Earlier, you could expect simple, direct questions like what is a virus or what is a Trojan horse in the ICT unit. But now, the exam setters have leveled up. They don't ask for basic definitions anymore. Instead, they'll ask about keyloggers, logic bombs, encryptions, etc. See the difference? It's no longer about mugging up definitions. The exam tests whether you actually understand the topic. That's why you cannot leave paper 1 for the last month. A lot of students underestimate paper 1, but if you really want to crack JRF, you need to take it seriously. Here's something you should always remember. Paper 2 gets you net. Paper 1 takes you to JRF. Your paper 2 performance will decide whether you qualify for net, but your paper 1 score will push you into the JRF category. A lot of students don't understand this, but paper 1 is actually simpler. Let me tell you how. It has a limited syllabus. Unlike paper 2, where there's endless content, paper 1 has well-defined topics. It's less time consuming. You can master it quickly if you stay consistent. Toppers swear by it. Every JRF holder I've spoken to says the same thing. Paper 1 gave them the extra push. Now you might be thinking, if paper 1 is so important, should I study it more than paper 2? No, the right strategy is balance. Follow the 1:3 ratio rule. For every 4 hours of study, study paper 1 for 1 hour and paper 2 for 3 hours. This way, you give paper 1 the attention it needs without neglecting paper 2. And if you need a detailed timetable, tell me in the comments. I'll make a separate video on that. Also, if you struggle with paper 1 concepts, I have good news for you. I've written a UGC NET paper 1 book, which is an Amazon bestseller. In this book, I've explained every topic with super simple examples, fun analogies, and even Bollywood references, so you'll never forget anything. Plus, I've packed it with learning techniques and memory hacks to make your prep easier. You can check it out by clicking on the link in the description. Oh, and did I mention that I have created a special PDF that summarizes this video and provides you with exam-ready notes? Just drop a message on the WhatsApp number on your screen or click the WhatsApp link in the description box and I'll send the handy PDF right to you. Friends, the second tip is know your enemy. Now, don't worry, we're not going to war. But if you want to crack JRF in the first attempt, you need to understand the exam inside out. Think about it. When India plays against Australia, do they just walk onto the field and hope for the best? No. First, they study Australia's strategies, who their strongest bowlers are, where their weaknesses lie, and how they plan their attack. Only then do they create a game plan. The UGC NET syllabus is exactly like that. It's huge. So if you try to study everything without a plan, you'll get lost. The key is to study smart, not just study hard. There's an old saying, if I had 6 hours to chop down a tree, I'd spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. That means before you start studying blindly, you need to prepare a strategy. The first thing you should do is analyze previous year questions. These questions reveal patterns, which topics are repeated, which ones are gaining importance, and which ones are less relevant now. Don't waste time on low priority topics. Instead, focus on the 30 most important and trending units based on past exam trends. Especially for subjects like English literature, focus on important writers age wise, who was writing in which era and what themes were common in their time. Friends, we have already covered this in detail in our video, How to Prepare for UGC in 5 months. You can check out the link in the description box for a complete breakdown. And yes, we have also launched a YouTube series on the 30 most important and trending units for paper 1 and most important writers for paper 2. You can check out the playlist. Friends, the third tip is the 4-step formula for consolidation. A big mistake students make is thinking they have to study everything. The truth is, you don't need to study everything. What matters is studying the right things and studying them well. It's not about how much you study, but how well you study. Friends, here I remember something. Winners don't do different things, they do things differently. And that's exactly what we need to do. Study smartly, not blindly. If you want long-term retention and maximum marks with minimum effort, follow this 4-step formula. Step 1, understand the concept. Don't just read for the sake of reading. Make sure you truly understand the topic before moving ahead. If you don't understand something, watch videos, read explanations, or take notes in your own words. Step 2, memorize important terms and formulas. Every subject has key terms, theories, and formulas. Instead of rote learning, try mnemonics, mind maps, or tricks to make them stick. For example, in my UGC Net Paper 1 book, I've included fun analogies and Bollywood references, so you never forget key concepts. Step 3, practice, practice, practice. PYQs are your best friend. I say this in almost every video. The more you solve the previous year's questions, the better your accuracy and speed. In my paper 1 book, I've included quiz stations after every topic, so you can test yourself immediately. Step 4, revise the most ignored step. Most students study once and forget about it. That's a disaster. Science says that 70% of what you learn vanishes from your brain within a few days if you don't revise. This is called the mere exposure effect and forgetting curve in psychology. You remember Chatur Ramalingam from Three Idiots, right? The guy who mugged up every word without understanding anything. And then there was Rancho, the one who focused on concepts, connections, and real learning. Be Rancho, not Chatur. If you try to cram everything, you'll forget it the moment you walk out of the exam hall. But if you use smart learning techniques, you'll never forget important topics. This is why I always tell my students to include examples, tables, and mnemonics in their notes. Let me give you some examples on how you can use interesting memory techniques to remember important concepts. In my paper 1 book, I've added a short story to help you remember Swayam Prabha's channels, so you'll never forget them. Further, when I teach the angry young man movement in British literature, I connected to Amitabh Bachchan because he was Bollywood's angry young man too. This trick helps students immediately recall the movement's themes. For paper 2, instead of reading long plot summaries, try making a storyboard, a simple sketch of scenes. In my online course for paper 2, I have created animated videos where you can understand and memorize an entire work in just 10-12 minutes. Ever noticed how advertisements always use graphics, images, and colors? That's because our brain processes visuals 60,000 times faster than plain text. So ditch long paragraphs and try these techniques. Flowcharts are great for understanding stepwise theories and models. For example, in paper 1's Unit 2 Research Aptitude, you can make a flowchart for steps of research like this. Tables are great when you have to compare 2 or more concepts. For example, if you want to compare the different levels of teaching, you can do it using a table like this. The next technique is association maps. This technique is great when you have multiple points linked to a single topic. For example, in my UGC Net Paper 1 book, I have given a summary after each chapter that uses this technique. It looks like this. Friends, you can also use this technique for famous lines. Friends, the fifth and final tip is start small. A lot of students make the mistake of thinking, I will study for 10 hours from tomorrow. And then they study for 2 hours, get exhausted, and give up after a few days. Don't do that. Instead of trying to study for 10 hours from day one, start with just 20 minutes a day. Build the habit first. Because trust me, consistency is the real game changer. Think about Shah Rukh Khan. He wasn't a superstar on day one. He started as a junior artist, worked in TV serials, and gradually became the king of Bollywood. UGC NET is not a sprint, it's a marathon. You don't have to study 10 hours a day right now. But if you build a habit of studying every day, you'll reach your goal. Friends, you'd have heard this proverb. First, move the pebbles if you want to move mountains. But what does it really mean? Imagine standing in front of a huge mountain and someone tells you to move it. It sounds impossible, right? But what if I tell you that you don't have to move the whole mountain in one go? Instead, just start by moving the small pebbles at your feet. Over time, as you keep removing one pebble at a time, you'll clear a path through the mountain. Now, apply this to your JRF preparation. A lot of students overthink the exam. They look at the massive syllabus, get overwhelmed, and think, this is just impossible. But the truth is, every JRF qualifier started with the basics. Instead of worrying about covering everything at once, just start small. Study for 20 minutes a day and gradually increase your time. With consistency, your brain adapts, your focus improves, and you start studying longer automatically. So, if you're waiting for the perfect day to start studying, let me tell you, that perfect day is today. Start with the pebbles and soon you'll be moving mountains. That's it from my side for this video lecture. We will meet soon in the next video lecture. Till the time we meet next, happy learning, keep loving literature and stay tuned to my channel.